Hey there, y'all. Disney D Prince here today with a new toy unboxing. Today I have the Avatar: The Last Airbender McFarlane toys figures. Now these retail for about $10 each for the individual figures. I do have Appa back there. We are gonna unbox him. He goes for about 20. So all in all, these are really well articulated. They are like a 6-inch figure scale. They are really cool. They are accurate to the artwork too, which I love. So I've had the bulk of these for a while, but I have not gotten around to doing a video because I was waiting on them to release a Toph figure, because she did not make it into Wave 1, which made me very upset. But we have her now, and we have Uncle Iroh. So I'm going to unbox them all, and we're going to kind of look over their articulation and their accessories and things like that. So first and foremost, we got to start off with our boy Aang. There are actually two different versions of Aang. There's the Happy Boy Aang, and he also is the same figure that comes in the more expanded glider pack, which I think goes for 15. I didn't pick that up because there's nothing different about the figure. So I just was like, yeah, I'll get it eventually when it goes on clearance. But this one I saw when the original gang was out, and I was like, I gotta get him. I do also have the Avatar State one. As you can see, there is a slight difference in these. We get a much more serious face. He's got the whiteout Aang. He's got the whiteout eyes and the whiteout arrow. But other than that, his body is pretty much the same. I think his hands are slightly different, though, because, see, they do have the Avatar State arrow on there. But they're very cool. So let's get the first one open. Now, it does have a really cool back of the artwork box. McFarlane does really good stuff. I'm really glad that they took over the DC Multiverse. I'll do a video on those one of these days, but because those have really good articulation and are one of the few action figure brands that I'm actually willing to collect. This one was more just for the fun of it. So let's take them out, because I want to unbox these guys, because I want to put them all in Appa, because they are very cool. Alright. And you can save the backs of these if you want. I might do that because they're kind of cool. And we're just going to get rid of that. Here he is without that glare. And he did just pop straight out. Yep, just like that. So here he is. As you can see, he's got articulation at his elbows. Got articulation here at his shoulders as well. A little stiff from being posed in the box, but that's more than okay. We've got lateral leg articulation. I don't love how his foot is posed, but that's okay. That might just also be from being in the box weird. Yeah, that's probably what it was, because it molds right back. But yeah, so he's got nice articulation on his legs. A really good mold. Like a really good, accurate mold to his costume. Like, you can see the details on the costume. Like, there's different textiles that are in there. Like, that's really impressive to me. And it does also come with his staff. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what it's called. His little, glider. There we go. That's what it's called. But it doesn't pop open. It's just a staff at that point, which is still kind of cool, because you can just put it in his hand. One of these hands should hold it, I think. Maybe not. There we go. I was like, I know they'll hold it eventually. So, he's got his staff in his hand. I know that sounds a little dirty, but I swear this is a children's toy. Actually, I don't know if it's really... Well, no. This is more of a children's toy than it is a collector's item. But these are very cool. I'm excited that I'm glad I got these, because these are going to be a lot more fun to pose. The only thing I wish is that they had more thigh articulation right here, just like a little bit that spun. But there's actually bigger versions of these that are at the 7-inch scale that are a little more expensive. They go for like 20 each, and they're by like FEX, I think, or FXM, I think is what it is. I haven't got any of them, but that's okay. We've got all of them falling apart now. I think Zuko wants to be next. What about y'all? So we have Zuko. Bring dishonor. He does come with some flame things, like his flame daggers. As we can see, we've got a little bit more about him on the back. Normally I would read that, but I am going on what little voice I have left right now. So what we got, what you guys are getting is what I got. I'm sorry. I did want to record a video, though, because I didn't want it to be another 2 weeks that go by while I'm healing up from COVID. So here he is. We're going to pop him out. Try to do that as gently as possible without breaking any of the details on him. So he is in his Fire Nation uniform from like season 1. I would love to see him in the Green Dragon Tea Shop stage. But very cool. They do have neck articulation. I don't think I pointed that out on Aang. Very cool. His scar is very fun. He's very grumpy Zuko. I don't think they have plans to get Azula out yet, but I would love to get an Azula figure and a Fire Lord Ozai. Let's stick these in his hands. And those are always underhand ones. So let's figure out how we can slide those in. There we go. So like that, and then like this. There we go. See? Very cool. So, I like that one. Zuko is always a good one to have. As you can see, he's a little bit taller than Aang. Not a ton. They didn't make him super that much taller, because I know Aang is a lot shorter really in the show. And we'll see that when we bring out Toph. So here we go, we've got Katara. Again, some really pretty artwork on the back of her. She does have her necklace. You can't really tell if the Water Nation sign is on there or not, but we'll figure it out here in just a second. So we've got our really cool water thing. I'm not sure how this is going to go in her hand. I'm guessing just right in there, because there's not like a peg to like hold it on for her. And this looks really good. Like, it looks like molded fabric, but it's not. Like, and it bends, and she's got all of the same articulation as the boys. They didn't just make her, like, skirt one piece with her legs. So that's good. Like, she looks very good right there. I don't know how. I guess it goes like that. I guess it goes like that. Or something. I'm not sure how they really want you to pose her water thing. But it looks good. She does also have the hip articulation. I don't know if the boys had that. Let me check. I didn't think to look on Zuko. Okay, yeah, so they do also have waist articulation. That's great. I'm just finding out more and more about these figures as I go on, which is great, because that is how you should be able to find out more about a toy, is by playing with it. Hopefully once all these are out, I'll find a good way to pose them, where they're just kind of like on Appa or around him. And then, of course, we have Sokka. He looks really good. I don't know if he looks super accurate, though. Like, I mean, I guess. Yeah. But, I don't know. He almost looks more lifelike than the others. But, it's alright. We are going to take him out. He does have his handy-dandy boomerang. The only one of the group that's not a bender. And then here he is. Again, he has that molded part that's not part of his legs, but does come over around it. And he actually has a holster thing for his boomerang, so you don't have to just stick it in his hands. So I love that. So he looks really good. Again, waist articulation, head, shoulders, neck. This piece is actually separate, so you could take it off, theoretically. I'm not going to right at this minute. But he looks good. And last of the gang is Toph. She took forever to come out. I don't know why, but it was honestly like there was almost like 6 months, maybe more. Because I've had these for a while waiting on her to come out. Because she is, not gonna lie, like my favorite Avatar character. Because we did also get to see her in Legend of Korra. Now with her, these big baggy parts are her legs. So she doesn't have as much movability with her knees to pose. She does still have the hips, though. And then she doesn't have the waist, it looks like. She's got a little bit of it, but not enough. And I'm not sure if that's just because of the way they designed her outfit as one piece, or what. But it moves a little bit, but not all the way. And then her sleeves are the same way. And you can see she does have a face under there. It's really cool. But yeah. None of these really stand up on their own. She does just get like a cool little like earth effect to like pop up. I think I would have rather have seen like a boulder to like have her like throw, like a rock throw or something like that, but this is kind of cool too. So that's all of the gang. And then I guess I should open Appa because I feel like he takes up the most room. And the one that I'm a little sad is that I don't think there's a Momo. There might be a Momo in the glider set, and if there is, I may have to reconsider going and getting it. But I can't, for the life of me, remember if Momo was in that one. And for anyone who's not remembering, Momo is the flying lemur. And he is a great source of fun for all. Gonna move these guys out of the way. We are gonna open Uncle Iroh and Avatar State Aang here in a minute, but I just kind of want to pop this box out of the way. I may just be able to just hit these. I can almost get all of them off. Did I get all of them? Okay, let's see. No? Possibly? I think there's one other spot in there that's held in. I can't get to it from in here is why. But what I'm realizing is that Appa is articulated as I'm trying to, like, muscle him out of this box. Appa is actually articulated. I didn't realize he was going to be actually articulated. That's great. Like, I mean, that is not something that I expected. I mean, I am grateful, but just not something I expected from them. Because that's one of those things like, oh yeah, it's Appa, you know, I expect maybe his head to move. But, like, a good chunk of him is movable, it seems. Okay, so there's his tail. It does come off. Oh. There was a hidden one right here in the back. That's why. Okay. Alright. Nothing else in here, right? Nope, okay. Bueno. Alright. So what we're gonna do, see he does have like a little ball joint and a little ball right there, and you just pop that in. And then, so his tail is movable, his head is movable, his mouth is movable. I love that. That's cool. Because there's one thing Appa does is he eats a lot. Unfortunately, his legs are not movable. It does look like his feet can turn slightly, though. That may just be a defect in the molding. But he looks super cute. And so, let's see how you would put them on there. So there's a lot of room up here, but I'm not sure exactly how you would get them all on there. Because Aang normally sits up here, like right along Appa's neck in the show. Alright. Like that, kinda. And then the rest of the gang kind of has to just sit in the back. There's not really a ton of room back here for them, like respectively. Because they can normally fit on Appa without too much effort. But there's just not a ton of room on Appa, unfortunately. Appa looks big, but in the show, I feel like he's a lot bigger than them. And on this scale, he's not actually in scale. But he's still really cute. So that screws up my plan to stage them on Appa a little bit. But they're very cute. And I may have to just get some figure stands or something for them, because they don't really want to stand up on their own. So if you are trying to get them to pose them in specific ways, maybe go for the more expensive ones. I like these because they were right in my price point of what I'm willing to spend on action figures for things that I'm just kind of casually interested in. Like, I loved Avatar as a kid, but it wasn't something that I, like, obsessed over. I have rewatched it as an adult, and it does hold up, y'all. Like, if you haven't rewatched it, it's always good for a rewatch. But they look good. They don't really stay on him, unfortunately. Even, like, one of them doesn't really fit in there. Like, Aang kind of fits, but that's just kind of funny, considering he's supposed to hold all of them on there. Go. Toph and Katara. Sokka. And we've got their accessories over here. And then we have our Avatar State Aang. I think I'm actually going to leave him in the box, because the only thing different about him is this paint. And I kind of like him in the box more, because it's got the matching artwork on there. So I'm going to leave him in the back, because I don't generally love having two of the same characters. And then we have our Uncle Iroh, and he looks good. The Great Dragon of the West, I think is what he was, right? Besieger of Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. He came out the same time as Avatar State Aang and Toph. And he's the first, like, adult character that we've seen so far. He is also the only one besides Appa that's actually secured in there. So let's see. So he is big. He is a little taller than the gang. He does have his really big, like, lightning fire thing. So that's kind of cool. So, also very fun. He's a very good role model. Again, he does have slightly different articulation because of how they did his molds. But he looks good. He doesn't seem to have the waist articulation. Again, or not the, yeah, waist is the right word. He does have knee articulation, if you see here on the sides. The skirt is not part of his legs. It's just a big plastic covering that goes over it. Or not skirt, robe. Sorry. He is in a robe, not a skirt. But he looks very good. Very true to the character. I would have loved to have seen them give him, like, a tea set instead, because I feel like that's more true to the character than the lightning. Because, like, we didn't really see Iroh use his powers that often. Just over the course of the entire series. But this is a really cool piece. And of course, with all of the elemental pieces, you can give them to Aang, so he can use them all. But these are really cool. So for the 7 figures and Appa, you're still coming out at under $100 to get the whole set. So, like, maybe, like, $110 if you want to get the full outstretched glider one of Aang, but it's the same figure as this one in that box. So if you're going to do that, I would suggest don't get the smaller Aang. But very cool. A very affordable line that doesn't skimp on the details. The only problem I have with this is Appa is a little small. I would have loved to have been able to stage all of them on there. But that's okay. They look good. They're true to the characters, and I think that's really all that matters at this point. Like I said, I am going to keep Avatar State Aang in his box just for like collector's purpose, I guess. Even though he has kind of a messed up box. But he looks kind of cool in the box just because it's got the matching artwork. But anywhere that Aang has arrows, like his hands, his head, he's going to have that white arrow instead of just the blue. So if you guys have any questions on these, or any comments, things you liked and didn't like about it, leave them in the comments. I try to get back to questions in the comments as quickly as I can. I am still sick right now, so be patient with me, because it's kind of like I have the energy to do like a video every now and then. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. As always, follow along for some more fun unboxings. Bye, y'all. Be good.